Hey guys, today we're going to do a quick little video about Dwarf Burford hollies. In a little shop out here, cluttered, there's crap everywhere. We're kind of working on everything right now, but it's not about the clutter, guys. It's about the plant. So we're going to talk about this little guy. This is a very small version of a Dwarf Burford holly. I got some from a wholesale grocer. These are good little evergreen plants. I'm gonna put them in this little bit bigger pot, get some size on them before I put them in the landscape. Probably next fall. This last of October 2019. I'll probably put them in around October 2020. A little bit about Dwarf Burford hollies. They're best in zone 7 to 9. Evergreen plants that actually get quite pretty popular. People say on the tags, 4 to 6 feet, 6 to 8 feet sometimes, and they can definitely be maintained at that, but they do get quite a bit larger. They are actually I've seen a lot that's in the 8 to 10 foot range, and they can get even bigger than that. Like most plants, they'll grow as long as they'll just keep going. What I'll do is, like I said, I got these. They had a little bit too grown. I'll cut them back quite a bit so they'll bush out, nice, and then leggy. They do get about as big around as they do high. So if you grow them for a screening plant, which a lot of people do, but Dwarf Burford in for a screening plant, if you're going to let it get 10 feet high, you're going to also be 10 feet wide if you don't prune it. Some people like that, some people don't like that. Some people like it because it's going to be less plants to cover more area. Some people don't like it because it just doesn't look as uniform as maybe boxwoods or other things. One alternative to Dwarf Burford hollies is needlepoint hollies. But I like Dwarf Burfords. I've raised lots and lots and lots of Dwarf Burfords, used them on different plantings, used them in different hedges, used them in different ways, used them as a specimen tree, a really pretty specimen tree, which is one really good thing about them. Some hollies do need, a male and a female to make the berries. These guys don't. They'll make their own. Really shiny. It's hard to see in this light. This camera on this phone is not the best. You don't shoot videos on this phone, but anyway, it doesn't show the best. Not the best light right here where I'm sitting, but really shiny, glossy foliage. Then they do get the berries that turn, red in the wintertime. The really bright red, really good. You'll have the red holly berries at Christmas time. That's always nice. Hopefully a little snow on the ground. Perfectly green holly. They don't lose their color much in the wintertime. Then those bright, showy red berries. A little snow on the ground. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's grown 7 to 9. 9B, 10 is maybe going to get a little hot on them. They're pretty good with heat. Up 6B, maybe, close to the house foundation. 6A, may get a little cold. It'd be like most hollies. The problem is not really the cold, per se, that kills them. A lot of times, it's the roots freezing inside, under the ground. And then they can't have water. Because it's all frozen to ice. And a lot of times they'll die. Sometimes they'll die from, if it's really cold. You try to plant them in zone 3. I'm saying it's probably going to kill it from exposure. But most hollies, they can take the heat or they can take the cold. It's the water freezing under the ground and it freezes the root side. They have no liquid water to take in because it's all ice, and they die from lack of watering. Now that being said, hollies are very drought tolerant, so that's one good thing I do love about those. Some of the Japanese hollies, not so much. the compactas and things that look more like boxwoods are not as drought tolerant as these guys are. These are not Japanese holly. Can't remember if they're Chinese or Korean. I want to say Korean, but I may be wrong on that. But once they're established, it's after 2 to maybe 3 years in the ground, you're not going to have to do a lot of ongoing watering on them unless it's an extreme drought. If it just went 3 months in the summertime and it's 95 in the southeast where I'm out of East Tennessee, went 2-3 months, it hasn't rained since June, this is slice of August, yeah, I'm going to water it. Anything other than that, it's going to be fine after 2 or 3 years in the ground. They're really strong industrial plants. Even for best, maintenance, for best practices, I still, like any other shrub, I'll still mount it up, especially if I'm planting it in clay soils. I'll dig the hole about 2 feet wider than the pot it comes in, and all the way down, like I'm going to bury the whole root ball in the ground, and the dirt that comes out of that hole, especially if it's clay, I'll mix in some pine bark soil conditioner if I can't get that. The pine mini nuggets do work fine. I've even, in really special situations, I've even went with gravels and rocks, anything to break that clay up a little and get some drainage through there, because they're not going to want to sit in wet feet at all. They're not going to want to sit and just soak. They can get root rot. This plant, if it is real sandy soil, maybe coastal conditions, you want to add a little maybe manure or compost, something to hold a little bit of water, but it's not, like I said, it's not going to want to be sitting in water all the time. It's not going to be very happy with that, and it's not going to last with that. So do some of the best practices. Mix that compost for whatever soil you're going to have, put it back in the hole so the plant's sticking up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches above the grade. Bring your soil in, tamp it down, bring it up to the edge to right there. Do not cover anything you plant covered when you buy the plant. That's very important, because you're going to invite pests, you're going to invite disease, you're going to invite anything if you do that. You don't want to bury these too deep. Bring some light mulch to help hold some moisture in and to make the soils better. After a while, adding mulch, that's one of the good benefits of that, is it does break down into the soil. It does make it improve the soil over time a lot more than you really think it would. Let it, they like full sun to, they can even take some partial shade. They're going to be a little thinner in the deep shade. There's going to be a little less berries. They get the berries in the spring, little white insignificant flowers, into green berries the last, most of the summer, and then in the late fall, early winter, that's when the berries will start to ripen and start with the nice red winter berries. And like I said, really pretty, really festive, and also birds love them. It's a great bird. Great traffic for the birds. It helps keep them fed all winter time. There's not a lot. Deers will sample hollies. They're not immune to deers, but it's not going to be the deer's favorite thing in the world. It's going to look for other things before. But if that's what's available, they leaves and pest resistant though. The leaves have a waxy coating on them, and they're pretty thick. So there's not going to be a lot of chewing insects on them. There's not going to be a lot of problems with disease. Some scale on hollies, because they do, like, it's hard to tell if this one, because it's just cut and it's still in semi-dormant stage right now. I brought it in the house. They start growing up. They get really, really dense, and a lot of air can't move through there. So they will get some scale on the undersides. Not a lot to worry about. Sprayed for it. I've never really worried about it. They're going to be fine. Real plants, and like I said, plant them the right way. Water them, keep them watered. Don't let them dry out too much. The first year or so, first year or two, don't water them because it's Tuesday. Water them because they need it. Go out there, check the soil, about 6 inches from them down to your middle knuckle, and if it's dry, drown it. I mean, just drown the whole space all around it, and then leave it alone. Don't do it again. Let them dry out on their own, and that'll also help encourage roots to come out and be able to sustain themselves. When you drown the whole area, not just on top of it, don't ever do that. Drown the whole area around it. And like I said, after the first year, worry about it. Unless everything in the yard's dead, it'll be fine. And other than that, there's not a lot more to know about Dwarf Burford hollies to do. Get some size, give it room to grow, give it fullest and the best. Mound it up a little bit when you plant it. 7 to 9 is the best zone for it. Can bake in the sun. Don't take a lot of extra water once established. And you guys can do it. You can raise your own dwarf, so give it a shot.